Hello, my witchlets, and welcome to another adventure in kitchen witchery and other spells. So today we are going to make a midsummer recipe. We're going to do a summer solstice salsa because we like alliteration. So, and with that, to serve it, you can either just use regular corn tortilla chips if you're into that, or you can use Quest protein chips if you're into that, or you can do what I'm gonna do for you, and that is make some low-carb flatbread. I have several recipes for flatbread, but this is kind of my go-to because it's really easy, and I mean, there's a number of ingredients, but they're pretty simple, and I have them on hand, and it's I don't know. I like this one. They end up looking like this. This is leftover from yesterday. I made a batch yesterday. So what you're going to use for the salsa, I'm going to do the salsa first so that the flavors can get to know each other and, you know, discuss their likes and their dislikes and plan their vowels. So we're going to start with, I think this is 4 fairly large tomatoes that are kind of diced, because I'm the one that diced them, and I discovered I don't know how to dice tomatoes. So these are chopped. We'll just call them chopped. We've got a sweet onion diced. We've got, I don't know how many serranos diced, and I think, what, 1 jalapeno? 3 serranos?
3 of each.
3 of each. 3 serranos and 3 jalapenos. It's a lot of peppers diced. 1 small cucumber diced. A peach diced. We have some cilantro we're going to cut into it, some lemon juice to add, and some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper to add. So why don't we go ahead and get started with this beast. We've got our sweet onion here that cameraman can so nicely diced up. All of his dice looks way better than mine, so you'll actually be able to tell who cut what. All right, so we got the serranos. Now with the serranos and the jalapenos, we left the seeds for the serranos, but we took out the seeds for the jalapenos because the seeds on the jalapenos are bigger and harder to do anything with. We've got our cucumber. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of stir this a bit here. Looks very Mexican flag-like, red, white, and green. Or Italian flag, I guess. Could be Italian flag. It looks very fresh is really what it boils down to. All right, at this point, I am actually going to add some kosher salt. And I'm only using kosher. I'm not really into the whole, well, this is sea salt, or this is pink Himalayan salt. Well, pink Himalayan salt does taste different, but you know, this is sea salt, this is table salt, this is kosher salt. It's salt. NaCl, it's salt. Like, it's all salt. I am using kosher salt because the grains are larger, ergo you don't need as much of it because you have larger grains. So I'm just gonna shake some in here. I'd say about a half tablespoon, maybe 2 teaspoons. I don't know how much that was. It was enough. And I'm gonna stir that in, and then I'm gonna add some black pepper to it here. Some freshly ground black pepper. Which I just filled, so I know there's some in here. This is the exciting content you come to see. Me grinding pepper. That should be enough. enough. Now, normally, if I'm making salsa, I would probably also add, oh, hey, I forgot to add the garlic. I need to get into my refrigerator and get the garlic. Or cameraman Ken can do it.
Where did it go? Oh, there it is. We hit it.
We hit it. I also need a spoon. I'll grab that. And maybe I will. Yes, I will. I can see a spoon, but I can't reach a spoon. There we go. There's a spoon. Here's the garlic. So you're gonna actually, now technically the recipe calls for 1 to 2 cloves mashed and diced garlic. We're just gonna throw in some diced garlic. I think that's our jar of garlic.
We have more.
I know we have more. I'm just letting you know, really, that I'm using up the last of the garlic that's in here that I can get out of this container without causing my ear thing to happen. So that's done. So now we stir in the garlic, since we stirred in everything else, and we didn't stir in the garlic because I forgot it. All right, so we've got cucumbers, we've got tomatoes, we've got 2 different types of peppers, and lots of them because we like spice. Technically, this recipe only calls for 1 small pepper. So if you're gonna use 1 small pepper, get a habanero. They didn't have any habaneros at the store today, so we got serranos and jalapenos. All right, now from here, I'm gonna add my peach, which was not ripe, apparently. So it's nice and crunchy. Probably really do only need 1 peach for this recipe because that was, like I said, that was 1 peach that I just dumped in here. So it's a lot, and yeah. So let's see. Okay, and then at this point, all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut in about a tablespoon or so of fresh cilantro. You can use parsley if you find that cilantro tastes like soap. Apparently, that's a genetic thing, and I do not have that gene. I love cilantro. Cilantro is fantastic. But I also don't have the gene that makes broccoli taste bitter. So, like, come to think of it, I think it's the entire bitter tasting, like the bitter tasting family of like veg and such like that. That's not a thing for me. Genetically speaking, it's weird. I'd have to look it up again. It's all on Ancestry DNA because I did that, and I actually found relatives that way. It's really kind of cool. Anyway, that's like more information than you need from me. But hey, all right, we are just about done. All right, that's enough cilantro. So we've got our fresh cilantro. We're just gonna stir everything in one more time. Well, this is the penultimate time of stirring things in because I realized I have lemon juice sitting on the table. Now, if you have a fresh lemon would be best. I don't, so I'm just using that much lemon juice just to give it a little bit of a pop on the flavor and apparently knock everything out of the bowl onto the floor. And that is that. So this would be a really super short video if I just stopped here, and of course I can't do anything less than 20 minutes. So I'm gonna reset everything and get stuff set up for the flatbread, and we'll come back and we'll make the flatbread for you. Alrighty, so we're gonna get started with our flatbread, which, remember, looks like this. So when we're done, kind of. So we're gonna start with a cup of almond flour. And when you're putting almond flour into your measuring cups, you want to do that with a spoon, because you're not trying to like scoop it out. You want to just, you know, use a spoon. I know there's actually a reason behind it, but I don't recall what it is right now because it's, oh my god, 30 and I'm tired. This is 2 tablespoons of coconut flour that gets mixed in there. 2 tablespoons of coconut flour, 2 teaspoons of xanthan gum, and then half a teaspoon of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of, the recipe specifically calls out Falk salt, but from my research of all of 30 seconds, Falk salt is a brand name for a specific salt in Sweden, and as I have said previously, NaCl is salt, and that is what I am using. I am using kosher salt. So we're just gonna mix this together. Yes, I'm using my hands because there's no point, as you will see, in using a utensil once we get the wet ingredients in here, because not only will everything go under my fingernails, which is my favorite thing in the world, as we all know, it gets to the point where trying to make a dough with a utensil is practically useless. I've tried it with a spatula, and I've tried it with like one of the plastic spatulas, and I've tried it with a whisk, and it's just, I just use my hands. Alrighty. So next we are going to, next we are going to add our wet ingredients by adding, this is, I'm cheating. This is an egg plus an egg white, except my egg white comes in the form of egg beaters, and it's a scant 1/4 cup. So that goes in here, along with a tablespoon of water. And I do that with my almond flour. Just make an entire mess everywhere because, did I mention I was tired? All right. So like Sola does on the, what is it, Epicurious channel? Is it Epicurious?
Yeah, Food 52. I
Food
think.
52, whatever. We love Sola. We're just gonna go in and mix it with our hands. Sola is inspiring, and it's kind of funny because I was thinking as I was making the summer solstice salsa, since we like alliteration, that was kind of like Rick from Food 52 as well. He does a show called Sweet Heat on YouTube. Like I said, I don't get paid for telling people about this stuff. Just go visit them because they're really cool. I like their stuff. Rick is currently is he in Baja?
Mazatlan.
That did not answer my question. That was a word I don't.
That's the answer I have.
Is that in Baja, California?
I don't know if that's over on the other coast. I don't think it is. I think it's in the mainland, but I don't know.
Mainland? Okay. He's in either Baja, California or Mexico proper right now, filming stuff for, I really don't know who produces that channel. I want to say it's Epicurious, but I just know that it's Food 52, and he and Sola, of course, know each other and are friends, and just, they're really adorable.
Who wouldn't be friends with Sola?
I know, who wouldn't be friends with Sola? So, basically what you're going to do is you're going to mix everything together, and this is fairly wet, probably because I had too much egg, but that's okay. So, this dough, this is really what you want it to do. This dough makes four tortillas. Well, not really tortillas, they're flatbread. So what I do is I roll it a bit into a log, and then I'm oh so scientific. I divide it in half, set 1/2 aside, roll this into a bit of a log as well, and divide it in half-ish. There we go. Then I roll this into a ball, and you're gonna press this out in whatever this is, sellotape. That's the British word. What is this called?
It's just plastic.
Plastic wrap.
The plastic wrap or cellophane.
I was like, sellotape, that's British. All right.
Watching too many British shows.
Yeah. Mighty Boosh. All right. So we're gonna just do this. Now there is actually, this recipe comes from a website that I would tell you if I wasn't using my phone for recording. I'll put it in the description. But there's actually a video on how to press this out. I should turn on my... Please, Lade. Thank you. Okay. I want you out there. All right. So there is actually a video that the person who created this recipe has on how to do this. So really don't... I haven't. Admittedly, I have not watched it. So don't do it the way I do it. Do it the way they tell you. You will get better results, and you will be happier with your end product.
But it won't be as entertaining.
But it won't be as entertaining. So, I mean, basically what you're going to do is you're going to press this out to it's very thin. I have developed a skill for making things mostly circular. I don't know. Apparently this is a thing that not very many people can do, but it's something that I, without depth perception, have been able to do. Cameraman Ken has commented on my ability to make pizza crusts that look pretty much circular. So, and I don't roll out my pizza dough either. I do it like this. I do it by hand, so this is just a me thing. This is how I prefer to do it. Look at that. I've got cat hair on me. So you want to get this as thin as you can without making it so thin that it starts tearing. And it's a really difficult balance to get, especially when your plastic wrap does not cooperate with you. All right, so what I'm going to do is this side over here needs to be shaped a little bit better. So I'm just going to work this side here while my pan is getting hot. Hopefully it's not smoking. You're going to want about a tablespoon of olive oil in your pan for when you go to cook these. And these cook medium-high heat for about a minute per side. Again, you have to be careful that you don't tear it like I just did here. This dough happens to be, this is not as good a batch, this is not as good a batch as I usually make. It's very moist. I know there are people that hate that word. I don't care. It's moist. That's what I'm going to call it because that's what it is. And I keep getting this hair attaching to everything. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and peel this off here. Ooh, that is too thin in a couple places. So reset it. That's the beauty of dough. You can just reset it and do it again. All right. Once more with feeling. Okay. My flaws are all out there for everybody to see. So, you know, that's just how we do it here. I'm not really sure how large these are supposed to be, but given that we're going to break these up anyway and turn them into basically tortilla chips without frying them again because I'm really lazy. Actually, it's not so much I'm lazy, I'm just tired. But you can make these into tortilla chips. I don't have a tortilla press. Hint, hint, if someone wants to gift me one, that would be great. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to carefully unpeel your flatbread dough from your cling wrap. Gently. There you go. And you're gonna make sure your oil covers your pan like so. Over the heat. Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute.
Starting now. And then you're gonna wait for a minute, and then you're gonna flip it, and you're gonna cook it on the other side for a minute, and you're gonna make sure you have a plate to turn it out onto. And then you're gonna just wait for me to do the other 3 that I have to do, because they're all done the same way. And then we'll be back. Alrighty, we are back. So we have our tortillas done. Well, I keep calling them tortillas. They're flatbread is really what they are. These are not a very sturdy kind of a chip. I mean, you could deep fry them. I'm sure you can cut them up and deep fry them if you want. I am not in that place this evening. So we have added to our salsa about a tablespoon of pico de gallo seasoning and another ½ tablespoon of kosher salt, because it just felt like it was missing something. So I'm gonna put some here on my flatbread piece. That is infinitely better, in my opinion. But I like a nice, I like a balanced salsa between hot and, if I'm gonna have a sweet fruit in it, then I want it to be a good balance of heat and sweet, which is why I was thinking of Rick from Food 52. And believe it or not, the serranos and jalapenos just were not kicking it up a notch for me tonight. Now tomorrow, this is probably gonna blow my head off, and that's fine, and I'm good with it, and I'm here for it. So this is definitely something that you're gonna want to make ahead and let it marinate and make friends and get to know everybody and write up marriage vows and vows and all of that nonsense, and let it, let it settle. Let it have its party, let it sow its wild oats, and let it become this beautiful creation. But I do definitely recommend more than a tablespoon of salt, because there's a lot of stuff in here, and the salt is just gonna help bring all the flavors out. It is very good. This is probably our dinner tonight, because we ate a late lunch, and we had a very large late lunch. I mean, the salad that I had was the size of my head, and that was a medium. So, yeah, veggies, I love them. So hopefully you loved this video, or at least liked it, or at least found it entertaining. Either way, just go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't like it at all, just go ahead and hit the thumbs down button. Doesn't offend me. Let me know either way, though, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see on the channel. Like I said, this is for summer solstice. It's supposed to be bright and fresh and all of that stuff, but bright and fresh is not what I look for in my salsas. Personally, I look for heat. So, make it to your taste. It's an abundance blessing, essentially. Were I to have my own garden, everything that you see appearing in this salsa would be homegrown, but probably Cameraman Ken, because I have a tendency to forget to water plants. So, and weed them. So that's a thing that happens. So I hope you, like I said, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you are not subscribed to my channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'm just gonna keep eating this because it's here. And it's tasty. Ooh. Ring-a-ling. And stay tuned for more episodes. I think I only have, well, Solstice is on June 21st anyway. So that's in like 2 weeks. It's going to be a rough weekend that weekend, because that's my dad's birthday and Father's Day, which I get to celebrate both without Dad. So that's going to be a rough weekend, and I'm hoping to have everything recorded before that weekend so that I can just focus on my own rituals that I need to do for midsummer, so that I can move beyond the heartbreak and such that I have. But I will try to get a ritual recorded for you. Prior to that, like I said, it's in 2 weeks, and I've got a couple of craft projects that I'd like to do for you as well, but it all depends on if I can get all of the materials that I need to make them. So stay tuned and find out what crazy things are happening, because in all of this, I am also starting my dissertation study on June 12th. So I'll be busy, and I'll have a lot of stuff to do and a lot of stuff going on. So that's a whole bunch of info dump that you probably didn't need, but that's okay. So thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.